Man, look. I really don't. I don't even. Somebody talk to me, because I don't know. I'm blown. I'm blown. I'm blown. Hey, Nams. The Umar Johnson and SETI beef has made me realize a lot of our downfalls throughout history has been when males' egos begin to feel like they have to show whose chest can beat harder than the other. We need more women leaders to water the fire and create the balance. This is ridiculous. I get what Dr. Umar was saying in terms of infrastructure and building. It cuts off for some reason. Like, it always cuts off really long comments. Sorry. Hey, Vonda and Talia and Dominique and Rant, I see you. That shit, that just blew me. That blew my mind. That I was so, like, y'all should have seen me watching it. I should have had, I should have uploaded a reaction video, because I know my face told the story. Mahogany, I'm at a loss for words. Hey, Adrian and Michael, I'm at a loss for words. Like, it made my stomach hurt. Legit made my stomach hurt. Hi, Gregory. I'm saying, like, Ash, look, I'm saying, when last December 2015, Dr. Boyce Watkins did an expose on the validity of his doctorate. And when they traced the steps back, there was a Dr. Umar Johnson, but he was a man of Middle Eastern descent. From, I forgot, was it the University of Philadelphia? I don't even remember. Pennsylvania University, Penn State? Was it Penn State? University of Penn State? I don't even remember. I'm honestly at a loss for words. They traced back his doctorate and it didn't exist. Like, he still has not provided documentation that his doctorate actually exists. And then if y'all watched it at what was it, like the 25? J. Michelle, thank you. Aisha, the phone ringing. He picks up the phone. He's like, I'm all right. I got this. And it rings again. You can't even be honest about the damn phone ringing. What? J. Michelle said, the fact Umar don't have a wife screams volumes to me. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be married. Let me tell you something. I'm fairly young. I don't know. What is Dr. Umar? 35 years old? I don't like to put time constraints on things. I don't put time constraints on things. But the reality is, most likely I'm going to be married within the next 2 years. Right? Or marriage, I got commitment issues. So maybe a committed relationship built on building something. Why don't you have a wife? How in the hell are you going to be committed? This is what bothers me. Shit like this. You are committed to teaching other people's kids, but you don't have any of your own to put in the school. Huh? At least I got 19 nieces and nephews. I have little people that I teach every day. I have little bitty people that I influence every single day. Not including my baby cousins. They could jump on the line right now to tell you how I talk to the teenage girls in my family. So why is it that I always, he hasn't found the right woman yet. You mean to tell me, he's got kids. You mean to tell me, of all these amazing, you want to tell me that you're traveling the world, that people are flying you out here and there, that they're doing this, that you've crossed the globe, that you're international, that you go out the Western Hemisphere, you do all of this, and if all the amazing, incredibly beautiful, powerful, intelligent women, the amazing, beautiful, powerful, intelligent, vivacious women that you have most definitely seen across this entire world, that you ain't found one that's right for you yet, but you online doing this, effeminate ass shit. That don't add up to me. That shit don't add up to me. That don't add up. My Raven Simone's. That don't add up to me at all. That does not make sense. That makes no sense. Okay? You got some, look, there's 150 people on this live chat. There's some amazing, black, educated, intelligent, brilliant women on this live chat right now. You mean to tell me of all of his travels and all of his seminars and all of his classes that he's teaching, that he hasn't met an incredible woman yet? So you mean to tell me he's got kids by a woman he didn't marry? But he's the leader of Pan-Africanism. He's the leader of the RBG. What? What was he doing in China? He was all of that. I'm not going to answer any questions that if you don't understand how foul this shit was, if you don't understand how foul this was, I cannot help you. I can't help you. The problem is, Robin Dennis, Ricky, hey ladies. The problem is with not having self-control, 45 minutes of you not having self-control and you contradicting yourself every other minute. That's a big problem. And I would never put you in, I would never trust you with my children. I would never trust you with my children. I would never do that. I would never do it. I would never do it. I would never, ever, ever do it. See, look, that's here, Marcus Cooper, you said Martin Luther King was a player. This is one of the reasons why I had no problem with him having sex with anybody. I don't have, look, maybe this makes me very left of center. I don't give a damn. What you do with your penis is your woman's business. Okay? What you do with your penis is your business. And if you married, it's your wife's business. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing. Whether you are faithful to your wife has nothing to do with me. While I would like for a man who has some leadership values to stand by the vows that he took or not make the vow at all, don't promise shit you can't keep. However, if you are out here just like Bill Clinton, I don't give a damn about him getting some sloppy toppy in the Oval Office. That has nothing to do with me. Nothing. A black man standing too tall for you. He's not a man. That's not manhood. My father taught me to stay away from men like that. My father taught me to stay away from men like that. He taught me very well how to identify a fraud. He taught me how to identify the disingenuous. Christopher Porter. Hey, everybody, if you don't know why people are bashing, calling out, holding accountable, dismissing, exposing Dr. Umar, do your research and then come and listen. Because you look stupid, okay? So just be quiet and go figure it out. This is the problem. Dr. Umar leads a bunch of people who will never look for the information themselves. He is expecting people to depend on him for knowledge. And it has caused himself to, he says that said he has a Napoleon complex. He said he has a Napoleon complex. You've got a Christ complex. He's got a Savior complex. You really think that you are something special. Those thoughts you've had before have been here way before you were thought of, before your grandparents were thought of. This is what you, I hate to be cliched. How does it go? A man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. Colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall. Look, it's damn 50 degrees in Chicago at the end of December. Did I know that this would happen? This is a breeze. My window's down. My AC, my air is on. In Chicago. You don't know everything. And the thoughts that you have formed have been formed by somebody else before you. This is so pathetic. Y'all, this is sad. This is some sad ass shit. This is sad. This is what and then every single time I say something, because I have never really come at Dr. Umar. I've never really come at any of them, really, unless they came for me, which was that whole Tariq Nasheed thing. You come for black women, you are coming for me. You come for a black woman with that Tommy Sotomayor thing that happened, you are coming for me. So what did he do to you? Just what I said. You can't come for black women and not expect for us to defend ourselves, right? So I don't jump. Here's the thing. I have an understanding that we are in a very precarious position right now. We are in a very fragile position as black people who have a thirst for knowledge, as black people who have a thirst for knowledge and a desire to do better and create something and build something. We are in a very precarious, fragile position. Antonia, of course, let him be. Let him beat on his chest and pretend that that is what masculinity and manhood is. I'll be damned if I ever allow a man around my son for him to train him up to think that that's what a man does. Ugh. This is why we're failing. And then people, I'm not driving. I'm chilling. I'm at home. And people, yeah, this Mike Bivens, this is straight grade A fucking coonery. This is grade A coonery. Tiffany Slaughter, I'll link the video after I get off here. But this is grade A coonery. This too much. This too much. It's too much. It's too much. This too much right now. And you know, I'm from a city called Harvey, Illinois. Well, I'm from the south side of Chicago, but I was raised in Harvey, Illinois. And the insanity that I faced being raised in the hood, I couldn't compute it. I couldn't understand why things were the way that they were. I couldn't figure out, I couldn't understand the dynamics of the hood while living in the hood. I knew how to survive it. I understood how to survive it. And that's what I saw. I saw false bravado. I didn't want to have to fight. I didn't want to fight. I had to fight. I had to fight boys. I had to fight. There was no way you could be a light-skinned, green-eyed girl and not fight in the hood, okay? But as you become an adult and you look back You see that those are kiddie games. That's kiddie shit. You don't. Why can't you two find a solution to this and gain? Build versus attack. Absolutely. 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 Because that's not their intention. If you look at it, if you just really look at it, the majority of the time, when people are having an argument or disagreement or beef with someone, it's because it's about self. They may have gotten involved within the movement because of something greater than them, because they saw a problem that they wanted to solve. But eventually it turned into self-centeredness. It became into self-gain. They wanted to continue in this movement and the things that they were doing for their own personal benefit. Dylan said, all my life I had to fight. Ridiculousness. Not Harpo. Shelley said, although I like that name, although I don't agree with the words used in the video, I also watched SETI video to Dr. Umar, and he used the exact same language everyone is so upset about. He's human. I think he can be forgiven. I do not want to forgive him. I am not offering my forgiveness. I've forgiven him before. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went on a limb to forgive him after he disrespected the woman that he went inside of, that he placed his member inside of, that he shared a bed with, that he shared energy with, passion with. I tried to forgive him after he disrespected and clowned that woman for doing the same damn thing that he does all the time. I tried to forgive him for that, but he never even wanted forgiveness. He's not going to apologize for this. This motherfucker is acting like business as usual. No. So here's the thing. Responsibility, when it comes down to it, is that what did Uncle Ben say? With great power comes great responsibility. The more power you have, the more responsibility that you have. SETI does not have the same audience that Dr. Umar has. It was up to Dr. Umar with his doctorate, with his education, with his published work, with all of the things that he was so braggadocious about, all the things he was bragging about, all of those characteristics. It was up to him being a psychologist, being a clinically trained psychologist. It was up to him. It was his responsibility to de-escalate this. He didn't do it because somebody is in his head. You know what it really sounded like? It sounded like a lover spat. It sounded like the end of a relationship. It sounded like your boo broke your heart and really made you mad. That's what it sounded like. Did everyone forget he pretty much stole $300,000 to $700,000 for us? Well, they're claiming that in 2017 he's going to use those funds to build the school. He said in the video that he was looking at Detroit and Atlanta to y'all don't send your kids to him. Y'all don't send your kids to that. Don't send your kids to that. I would not trust him. I would not trust his discernment. He claims he's a certified principal. I would not trust his discernment to choose other teachers to guide your children. And look, that's how your babies get molested. I'm serious. That's how your babies get raped. That's how your babies get psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, physically damaged. That's how it happens. Mentally damaged. That's how it happens, by entrusting your children with people who don't either are the abusers or they don't have the discernment to put your kids in a safe environment. Don't you Don't you dare send your sons to a man like that. Don't you do it. Don't you dare send your sons to a man like that. But that's the thing, Josh Sutton. That's the thing. It's not worse than the public school system, but it's supposed to be better. That's the problem. What you mean Javon Clark is doing it with 15,000? 15,000 what? Javon Clark has like 80,000 followers. Look, and I hate to speak on the man, and he's not on the live video. Sometimes, you know, when he tunes in, that's when I'll talk about him. So don't say I was talking about him behind his back. But I'll tell you one thing. When I first got acquainted with Javon Clark, I thought he was fucking disgusting. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you are really, you know, but here's the thing. I confronted him with it. Did he call me a bitch? Did he say I was stupid? Did he block me? When I said some of the shit that you're saying is problematic, man, and here's why. No, the Javon Clark from a year and a half ago is not the one that's today. I can't pronounce your last name. Jada Choates. Jada Choates. My definition of manhood and womanhood. Now, they say that women cannot define manhood. I disagree. I say that women cannot enact manhood. Women cannot be men. Unless you are, I'm not willing to live my life as a man. I'm not a man. However, the core values of manhood and womanhood are the same. Integrity, honesty, the intention of righteousness, attempting to be pure of spirit, pure of heart, trying your best. No matter, look, there's a lot of sociopaths in this world. There's a lot of sociopaths in this world, but that does not make them bad people. You might be a sociopath. My father was a sociopath. My dad was a sociopath. I have sociopathic tendencies. I really do. That does not mean that I'm a bad person. That does not mean that my father or others who are sociopaths who battle these defense mechanisms that your mind has created, because that's all it is. In my non-doctorate having belief that these look at PTSD, all of these ailments, bipolar, manic depressive, all of these ailments are mental defense mechanisms to protect you from something that you've been through, from something that you've seen. But it is up to you to look yourself in the mirror and say, hell, I'm doing this the wrong way. I'm hurting people. I'm hurting myself. I'm not building. I'm not producing. I'm not being productive. What can I do to change that? It's the basic tenement. Protect your people. Protect your people. That's a foundation of manhood or womanhood. Protect your mother. Protect your father. Protect your sister and your brother. Protect your children. Protect their minds and their hearts. Floyd said somebody gonna try and set me afire with his telekinesis, with his mental powers. That's what we're dealing with, man. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be 6'3". That was just the most disrespectful shit. Right, Anthony? No, Marcus Cooper, he will never regain my trust. He will never, ever regain my trust. He will never regain my trust. He will absolutely, positively. He blew it. He blew it. He blew it. If he couldn't gain control of his emotions within that 45-minute video, What would happen 45 minutes alone with my baby? Would you accept his apology after that? Because that's who he's targeting. That's who his target audience is your kids. That's who his target audience is your babies. You only watch 5 minutes. Watch the rest of it. Watch the rest of it and see what you get. I could only take 30 minutes. I could only take 30 minutes. I could only take 30 minutes. He disrespected light-skinned black people. He disrespected. See, this is the type of Negro that's going to cut off his nose to spite his motherfucking face. You hear me? He going to cut off his nose to spite his face. Manhood don't mean you look down on other men who are shorter than you. Manhood don't mean you look down on men. Oh, you 5'2". Oh, you ain't no man. Oh, you 5'10". You ain't no man. You ain't over 6 feet. You can't be a man if you ain't tall. If your chest ain't big enough. Goofy ass shit. Cornball ass shit. It's corny. That's our leadership. That's our prince. Josh Sutton, you are absolutely correct. You have seen me heated for the same amount of time. You've seen me real pissed in the same amount of time. But never would I try to take away a woman's womanhood by her height, by her skin complexion. Never would I come and attack A.O. Anderson. Never. You have never seen me do that. And if you say that you have, you a lie. Repost the video. You've never seen me try to dehumanize a black woman. Never. You know how many times I have people coming at me? You know how many times I've never dehumanized a black man who ain't asking for it. Now, yes, I have made some real harsh statements. I have really come at people's skulls and knocked their ass across their heads verbally. Absolutely, positively, I have. But I will never, ever do what he did in that video. Never. I would never, ever use capitalism as a means to demean my people. Never. Oh, you ain't got no money. Oh, you ain't got no money. Who's flying you out? Who's flying you out? I'm not sitting up here answering phone calls with nobody on the line. He felt it necessary to answer a phone, to pretend to answer the phone. Why? Why did he feel it necessary to that right there? That right there. The phone rings. He picks it up. He says, nah, man, I got it. And then the phone rings again because there wasn't nobody on the line. And then he just plays it off like nothing happened. That's crazy. That's fucking insane. I'm not lying. It happened at like the 24-minute mark. I'm not lying, babies. I'm not lying. That just goes to show that there is severe mental illness there. He's or he might be on drugs. To be quite fucking honest, he might be on drugs. Because there was an evil that I recognized, y'all. That was not. It was like at the 24, maybe 25-minute mark. But if you start watching the video at the 24-minute mark, this motherfucker answers the phone with nobody on the line and it starts ringing again. If y'all watch as much of that video as you possibly can, because then you'll understand where I'm coming from. If you just watch the first couple minutes, you're not going to get how deeply disgusting he got. You're not going to understand. And that's why I forced to watch. I'm going to finish the video. I got 15 more minutes to go. And I'll probably make another video myself because Jordan, after I get off this live, I'm going to post a video. I'm going to post a video. So y'all check my page and I'll put it there. But Umar is not a soldier. That is weakness. Everything that he gave, everything he served was weakness. That was weak as fuck. He's going to get himself killed for all the wrong reasons. He's going to get himself killed behaving like this. I know, Patricia. Help him. Help them all. Apparently he made a video. That's what somebody told me. He made a video about apologizing. I don't want his apology. Keep that. Rajonda, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't, look. I don't claim to be a black leader. I don't claim to be the leader of Pan-Africanism or RBG. I don't put titles on myself for this very reason. I don't say that I'm this. I don't say I'm goddess. I am goddess Fox. I'm goddess Chyna, goddess Antonia. I don't claim to be a goddess. I don't claim to be a queen even. I don't claim to be fucking princess. I don't claim none of that shit. I never have said that I'm conscious. If you've been watching my videos, you know I don't claim none of that shit. All I know is that I am put in this world and I am judged by the color of my skin. I am judged because I have a vagina between my legs. And when I have children, they are going to be black children. And I will have black sons who will be preyed on. That's what I know. I know that my ancestors and your ancestors were beaten, raped, robbed, stolen, murdered, and mutilated. And a bunch of crafty ass crackers profited off of it. I know when I walk into a room, even though I do have light skin privilege, even though I am high yellow, and a lot of these white folks see me as a lot less threatening. If they only fucking knew. They see me as a lot less threatening. All I know is I want something better for my children. All I know is I want something better for my family. I want something better for your families and for your children. I want our kids to play together. But my kids cannot play with any motherfucking body that follows Dr. Umar. No. No. Nope. Crafty ass crackers. They just come on in and just try and make themselves relevant. Just like Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar does the same thing crafty ass crackers do. The same thing. Goddess Antonia. Huh, Anthony. Why are you so mad though? It's because you don't know how to use punctuation, Cameron. First of all, that's going to be my first irritation. It's because he dissed mulattoes because you act like you used to have sex with him and he didn't like it, so he never called back. Now you're mad. Let me explain something to you. I'm going to take it a step further. And I'm not going to block you yet, Cameron. But I'm going to take it a step further. And honestly, when I look at This is one of the problems. This is one of the problems. Since you wanted to take it there, let's take it all the way there. When I look at these so-called black male leaders, there is nothing attractive about them. There is nothing that makes my eyes go glossy. There is nothing that makes me say, oh my God, what an incredible man. What a powerful man. I want a man like that. I want to have his babies. I want my husband to be just like him. There was nothing in me that has ever, I'm talking across the board, there is not one black, so-called black male leader that I would want laying in my bed next to me. Not one. Not one black male leader, famous one. There might be a couple low-key ones, but there's not one that has gotten fame and notoriety that I have said, wow, he would make an amazing husband. Because majority of them are not husbands. Majority of them have not built that kingdom that they have claimed to have understood and are teaching. So when it comes down to it, the fact is that these issues ride. Now, this might be a little vulgar, but I'm not going to explain it any other way. I'm going to explain it so that it's perfectly clear what I'm talking about. This issue, these movements have come down to exactly what Cameron was talking about. A pair of balls and a dick. And they are so focused on their dick and their balls that that is the most important thing. Not the education of children, not the future of black people, not black empowerment, not black love, not black joy, not black family, not black community, but two scrawny, wrinkly balls and an unattractive dick. That's what it comes down to. And he kept talking about an inferiority complex. You have an inferiority complex, as he beat on his chest, as he reiterated how he was 6'3", as how he tells how he had no complaint from any of the women, but he had so many sordid details about Seti. He knows so much about Seti's sex life. That shit is weird to me. That is phenomenally strange to me. I've never seen two sisters that have a following argue about each other's sex lives. I've never seen that. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I've never seen that. So, no, it's not because he dissed mulattoes, as you call us. Even though both my parents are black and all four of my grandparents are black. Even though he claims that when someone that looks like me looks into the mirror that I see a cracker, as he called a cracker. I see a cracker when I look into the mirror. Man. He looked like he wanted to cry a couple times. Somebody's hyping his head up. Somebody's hyping his head up. He's got somebody that's actually pulling the strings. Anyway, Cameron, I'm going to block you now. Y'all need to see this. Y'all need to see this. Sean, you need to see this. You need to see this. You need to see this. Sean Scott, you're absolutely right. There is no big deal. There is no big deal about it. But there is an inferiority complex with men about their reproductive organs. Shit. Ugh. Umar is Cameron. I'm pretty sure. Because when you have someone who is as narcissistic as Dr. Umar, as Tommy Sotomayor, as Brother Polite, they all fall into the same category to me. And the reason why Dr. Umar I respected probably one of the most out of that, because they all fall into the same veil to me. The reason why Dr. Umar I respected him the most is because he actually taught me something. He actually gave me some perspective on some things. Listening to him was beneficial to me. Like listening to Brother Polite, there's no benefit. I get nothing out of it. He regurgitates information. He watched, he'll read a passage or watch a TV special and he'll just say the exact same thing that he read or heard. Not impressive. I could do that on my own and come to my own better conclusions. But Dr. Umar, I felt his charisma, his ability to speak and put his cognitive skills are incredible. Now look, I'm not saying this guy isn't smart. He's brilliant because he duped y'all real good. He got you real good. Y'all, the ones who he got, you know who I'm talking about. He got y'all real good. And he's going to continue to get some of y'all. But he's a very smart man. He's a very smart man. However, the most evil people tend to be. The most evil, salacious people tend to be. The most evil people, just like that man, ladies and some gentlemen, like that man. Steven, don't say that. That's fucking weird. Don't give me a fucking compliment and call me beautiful because of my light skin. Fuck out of here. Ladies, it's like that man that is just, he knows all the right things to say. It's because he said them 1,000 times before and it worked. He knows what it takes to get inside of you. He said it time and time and time and time again. And it worked. And when you're angry with him and when he hurts your feelings and when he steps out on you with somebody else, or when he forgets your birthday or disappears at Christmas time, when it's time to show up, because all year you've shown up for him. All year you have shown up for him. And when it was his birthday, you took him out. And you did everything possible to please him. But when it was time for him to show up for you, he was gone. But then he apologizes and he says that he's sorry. And you take him back. It's the same exact thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I promise you it's the same thing. But here's where it's at. Somebody's going to hurt that man. Somebody's going to hurt him. Somebody is going to hurt him. He is positioning himself as Jesus Christ. He's positioning himself as a savior, as the Messiah. What? You act like Judas didn't exist? If Jesus exists, if the Messiah exists, so did Judas. Not positioning himself absolutely, the devil is going to tell you, Chase should, yes. Now, look, Chase, since he wants to talk about being a master, a doctor of psychology, he has, I wish y'all could just look at his mannerisms, look at his eyes. I wish y'all could just see what I see, man. I wish you could see what I see. He's a psychopath. He's a psychopath. Ugh. Thank you. That doesn't make a shorter man any less of a man. Height does not define manhood. Oh, Lord, thank you. My father was 5'10". I was the same height as my dad. And as he got older, he started shrinking a little bit. But he was the biggest, strongest man that I've ever met. And it wasn't because he could fight. Yeah, he could fight. He could fight. It wasn't because he was the most athletic. Yeah, he could run. He was fast. Yeah, he played football and basketball with my brothers. Yeah, he could do that. But it was because of his mind that made him the strongest man that I've ever met. It was his mind that made my father a superhero. It was his mind that made my father an alpha male. It was his thoughts, his mind, his intellect, how he put it together. His cognitive skills, his intellect, his ability to absorb information. His ability to absorb information and apply it is the most impressive that I've ever seen in a human being in my entire life. That's what made him an incredible, strong man. Not his height, not how tall he was. Please. Marcus, because if women want tall men, maybe that has something to do genetically. Maybe that not genetically. What the Darwin? What the hell? With us reproducing. Hey, boo crew. Good looking out, Anthony. Driver says my dad is about 5'9", but he could rearrange your life with just a few words. Thank you, Walter. My dad was a cool guy. He still is. He's still with me. Ren Judah says his ego has grown out of control and people think it's cute, but this man referring to himself in third person as he does tells you a lot. It's not an act like on wrestling. This Negro is dead serious. The doctor needs a doctor. The doctor needs a lot of help. He does. I absolutely agree, Ren. Because look, if you are actually right now where I'm at and the things that I am doing is just the beginning of the things that I'm going to do within my life. I'm at the very, very beginning. I didn't ask for following. I didn't ask for none of this. I did not go out of my way to cultivate a following or create a following. I don't sit down and strategize about, oh, I'm gonna do this video and it's gonna go viral and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do this. Because if I was that disingenuous, I wouldn't have a following. I wouldn't have it. The point I'm trying to say is if you do something that targets a huge number of people as severe as what we are going through as a black people, as an oppressed people right now, you have to do it for everyone else as well. It can't just be about you. And everything that he does is about him and his title and how heavy he feels his dick is. Oh, okay. All right, male lady. You goddamn better well stop. Don't ever live on the south side of Chicago. Because you won't get your mail. Oh, Jada, you so little. You're so little. You're little. So, okay, yeah. So by that logic, women, if you are a tall woman, then you are not a woman. Because you look down on your man. If you look down on your man, you are not a woman. You are the man, and your man is the woman. By Dr. Umar's logic, if you are light-skinned, then you have self-hatred and you try to overcompensate to achieve your black goal, to achieve your comfortability as a black person. Fuck out of here. That's how egocentric you are. Because he says when he looks into the mirror, he sees an African and showed his hands. I see an African. I just can't, y'all. I can't look. I can't even talk about the things that I'm doing right now. I can't even talk about the achievements that I'm achieving right now. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be nominated for a Grammy. Never in my dreams did I think it would be even possible. I don't even like talking about it. I don't even like talking about it. I don't even like the attention of it. I know that seems strange, but I don't like it. I don't like to set myself apart from people or try to elevate myself from people. I just like to exist. I enjoy existing. I enjoy being amongst people. I don't do music. I didn't for that what got nominated. I didn't get paid for that. I spent all of my money to get to Los Angeles and stay there for a week. I spent all my money to record. I didn't get paid for any of that. None of it. It's because I believed in it. I believed from the bottom of my heart. I believed in that project. And I did it without seeing immediate reward, without seeing immediate result. That's what it's going to take. It ain't going to take... Oh, fuck. How does this happen? What is this life? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Tanique. Tanique says, my husband is 5'5" and I love that midget. I'm like chocolate. Thank you, Jada. I appreciate that. Oh, Jasmine, you're 4'11"? Yeah, women are supposed to be 5. What is the average height for a woman? 5'4". So if you're not 5'4", Freud would have a lot to say about that. If you're not 5'4", then you're not a woman. African Chase. I'm not saying that light-skinned people are anything. Look, what I'm saying is, yes, actually, the oldest people are of a lighter skin complexion. They're saying that the origins of people, you know how in the Bible it says that people were made of the earth? Well, you go to Africa and you look at the earth, it's not dark and rich like what you see in your front yard. It looks like clay. It's darker than me, but it's lighter than than ebony. It's a medium complexion. And if you look at what they call the Bushmen, that's the oldest people, current people that they have found. Those current people are not dark. They're not very, very dark. They're very they're not my complexion. They're paper bag. Chloe said, when I'm out with a short man, I just don't feel protected. My, well, should I say that? My ex-boyfriend was my height. I don't know if that counts as short, but he's probably 5'11", 5'11". He'll light your motherfucking ass up, boy. He's had a whole lot of other issues, but I never felt unsafe with him, ever. Butter pecan. Okay, Marcus. Butter pecan. Ren said, "You not a woman if you can't braid my hair for me real quick." I ain't no woman, man. I can give you a mean 2-strand twist. No, I just can't French braid. Calling himself African. No, Wole You problematic as hell. I remember that last conversation with you, but I'll give you another chance. But well, like, I agree. I would say that he's absolutely problematic when some of the oldest the oldest people in the entire world are a butter pecan color. So, and you test them, they don't have European influence. The Europeans came from them. That's where Europeans came from. That's where they originated. They came from them. That's why the Europeans, that's where they got those smaller nostrils from. Man. Troy Thompson? Oh. Well, I'm a 6'9", light-skinned Bush brother. Hey. We got some tall ones in the house. So what if she was 6 foot? I don't know. My cousin's 6 foot. We some tall women. We are very tall women in my family. My mom's 5'4". I don't know where well, her dad was 5'6", but we're very tall women. Miriama, I love you. Afisha says, as I was looking at the video, I did not understand how he could claim to be a teacher if he's not humble. There has to be a certain humility when you teach somebody something, or why else would somebody want to listen to you? Because the elevation that you claim to be giving is not attainable. I agree. It doesn't make any sense. He contradicts himself constantly, and I'm not with the shits, man. I'm not with it. I don't feel it. I don't respect it. I can't. I don't forgive him. I will not participate in anything that he's doing. This is not revolutionary. This is oppressive. He's an oppressor. Period. He's an oppressor. Anthony, did you finally get out that line? That was crazy. Had somebody taller than you. Wow. Ren, you ain't 7'4". Are you 7'4" or are you just talking? That's really fucking tall. Dang, you're 2 feet taller than my mother. 2 entire feet. Damn. No, said he's not going to meet with Dr. Umar. He already said he's not going to meet with Dr. Umar because that's crazy talk. Because that's insanity. Gary Miller, look at what you just said. That's my entire problem. That's my problem. Gary said Dr. Umar Johnson is great at what he does. If you feel deceived, don't fret. He called Seti all those names in an attempt to discomfort him. Seti got to him. So Umar in turn used the same tactics that white folks used. I do not trust that or respect it. So this man who you claim to be insignificant, who you claim to be is unintelligent, who's not as amazing as you are, who's old and played out, this man that you claimed is all this riffraff, you let him get to you? You let him get to you? I'm here to tell you, okay, unless I can provide a learning tool for the thousands of followers that I have, unless I can provide a learning tool for these people, somebody with a platform that I don't respect or an intellect that I don't respect can never get to me. Never. Never. And if I had a platform with hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, they would never, ever see me sweat. If I was because let's just be quite honest, I'm not as protected as Dr. Umar is. My words are not as respected. My intellect is not as respected because I didn't lie about a degree, a doctorate, because I didn't provide false information about an education I never fucking received. Because of those things, amongst that I'm a woman, amongst that he's a man, amongst that he is going to tell you what he wants you to hear, I'm not as protected as Dr. Umar is. This man is sheathed, cloaked. He has no worries. He doesn't have to worry about his home and his shelter. We do. So if me, being someone who is not as protected, and I have to go about my day-to-day life, I can't make this a focus right now as it is, because I got to go about my day-to-day life. Why would you step down off your throne, Prince, to address someone who you feel is intellectually inferior to you? Why? How could you possibly let that person get to you? It don't add up. It doesn't add up. They canceled the order. At least you got paid. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? I'm 5'11". I will wear 6-inch heels in a heartbeat. I don't care. I sure will. Happy birthday, Jamel Abraham. Oops. You know, Chase, I wouldn't want to watch that debate, because it would just be a penis stroking debate. It wouldn't be a debate of intellect. It wouldn't be a debate that of an issue that needs to be debated, an interesting topic. It would be whose dick is bigger, whose dick stays harder the longest. That's what it would be. That's not interesting to me. That's boring. That's basic. That's level 1 type shit. That's hood classics. That's a beef on the basketball court. Okay, that's a fight in the cafeteria at school. That's nothing. That's not manhood. That's not adulthood. That's not black empowerment. That ain't got shit to do with us. Like, that's not on our level. Like, we're not at that level no more. If you so-called conscious, which is a fucking joke, if you so-called are enlightened and you think of it on a higher wave, then you know to think outside of yourself. How do you possibly know not to think outside of yourself? How can you possibly keep stroking your ego? How? You should find no pleasure in stroking your ego. I might have to look. This male person, stop. Oh, yo, if you live on the south side of Chicago and you see the male person, you tackle that motherfucker, because these some bitches are lazy. This chick is just driving to different, like, I just seen her drive to different blocks. Instead of organizing her life and just hitting all the houses in the way she should. I'm not going to get the mail until 5 o'clock. Overtime collected motherfucker. It's not my fault you spent all your coins at Christmas. I'm sorry. Doing everything but what you're supposed to. Leon, an ego, an overinflated ego is dangerous. It is poisonous. That's why, look, y'all, in a nutshell, I don't even have children yet. I'm not trying to rush that. Here's the thing. Somebody tried to, like, sneak diss me. One of my friends on social media, I made a video talking about how marriage is a business contract, right? And she posted a status that says something like, I don't know, it was very sneak dissing, like, how you going to take advice from someone who's not living the advice that they're giving, or something like that. I don't claim to give advice from a married woman's perspective. I'm not married. I've never been married. I don't claim to give advice from the perspective of a mother. I'm not a mother. I've got a 9-year-old chihuahua, but that's it. But I don't claim to give advice from that perspective. I give advice from the perspective that I have. I'm a single Black American woman. That's where I speak from. And if you so happen to understand it and you can go along with that advice, that's wonderful. But the thing is this: I'm preparing to build a family. And because I have an understanding of myself and the things that I'm dealing with, or my life, or where I am, the location I am, literally, I'm preparing myself for that future. I don't want to rush that. I don't want to go out and get married to some schlub simply because I need to have life experience, or the validation of being married, or the validation or the experience of having children. I do want children. I do want a husband. I do want to be married. I want all of those things, but I will not rush it because I want it to be that business. I want to build something up. I want it to be powerful and amazing. And so when I speak on the things that I'm speaking of, you don't have to listen to me. You most assuredly do not have to listen to me. But just give me a couple years and you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll understand it perfectly. You'll gel right along with what I'm talking about, and you'll still be, oh, let me stop. You'll see what I'm talking about. Jasmine says, people always think of now. You got to get the new J's now. You got to look rich now, but they're not thinking of the future. This is why the children struggle harder than the parents most of the time. Absolutely correct. When my father was growing up, he did not grow up poor. Okay? My grandmother was not poor. Poor was not in their vocabulary. Okay? Poverty was not in their vocabulary. She had what she wanted. She had an amazing job. She had, she was an incredibly beautiful woman. So, men would, see, back in the day, men would buy you a house in your name. That's the type of shit that they would do. Men would buy you a home. Men would buy you stocks and bonds and shit. Men would invest in you. Men would buy you a car back in them days so that you could handle your business. They don't do that so much anymore. But that's what the standard was then. If you wanted my grandmother's attention, you had to really fucking do some things, all right? Some things that was going to affect her and her family's life. But back in the day, my family, my father's family, at least, they weren't poor. They had money. Up until that generation fucked it all up. And so now we had to struggle. Look, all I'm saying is my children will not play with those of the likes of Dr. Umar. My children will not know what government cheese is. They probably won't even know what cheese actually tastes like until they get older. Seriously. Damn sure won't be drinking no fucking powdered milk. That shit was disgusting. A little bit. It's okay. He's why we're here. And before his last video, we looked up to him. I did, in a way, had some admiration for him. I knew he was problematic as hell. I knew he was a hypocrite, and he had pimp-like, speaking on Dr. Umar, that he had pimp-like tendencies. But he was one of the very few people that I actually learned something from. Let's take Princella Clark. You guys, a lot of you guys are familiar with Princella Clark. Princella and I do not agree on everything. We do not agree on everything. If Princella was one day to turn on me based upon something that I said and would slander my name and drag me through the streets and say all these horrible things and say that she knew intimate details about me and my love life, which she would, that would be like total fabrication of a non-existent ass love life. If that were to come about, I would never do what Umar did. I would never respond that way. Look at what happened with me and Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor called me fat. He said that I had 6 kids. He said that I had 6 kids by 6 different men. He said that I was a whore, black bitch, fat black bitch, Miss Piggy. He said all these different things. And I understood right then how to gain my power. And it wasn't by behaving like him. I understood what to do in that moment. If you are a so-called psychologist, if you understand how people in the brain and the mind work, why did you play yourself? You played yourself, Umar. You played yourself, Umar. You played yourself. You had an opportunity to become greater. And you played yourself. Marvin says, I bought my ex 2 cars and a house. You ain't say nothing. What was I supposed to say about your business? I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I don't know. What am I supposed to say? That ain't me. Now look, what I'm saying is this. Oh, these fucking comments. Ooh, I just got tired. Y'all see my eyes get tired? I read a comment and instantly got exhausted. Keith Demi says, no disrespect, you kind of sounding like Umar. And then you have no discernment. Then I can't help you with that. I can't help you with that at all. Is it because I'm showing a standard of living? Showing a standard of how to respond to people? If that makes me sound like him, I guess in your mind you have no discernment whatsoever. There is a way to operate. I just made 32,000 followers plus 5,000 friends. That's 37,000 people that are on my platform, and I can't do the same things that I used to do. I can't. And I learned that the hard way. I cannot I can run after this fucking mailman though. God damn it. So you just gonna take all the overtime. Who the hell? Oh Lord. I'll be right back, y'all.